Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is Karen Newman. This is the Saturday Human Colony Hucolo webinar. It is Saturday, the 6th of February, 2021, and we have our wonderful, very special guest, Jim Charles, here channeling for us today. Hi, Jim.
Hello.
Hi, and we have a very full room. We have 21 people in the room, so I'll just go through and say who's here. We've got Dawn and Angie, Barbara, Kathy, Christine, Daniel, Hester, Ian, Yana, J-Lo, Joan, Lilypad, Michelle, Raneen, who's new. I haven't seen her before. Sean, Sheer, Stephanie, Suzanne, and Don again. He came in twice. So, and myself, Karen. So welcome. How's everything going with you?
Everything's going well.
How was the magic class last week?
It was very good, I thought.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't hear it all because I was channeling it, but from what I understand, it went pretty well.
Oh, great. Okay. So Angie has some announcements. Why don't we start with those? Go ahead, Angie.
Hi, good morning. We have our next online class. Sorry, excuse me. It is going to be Galactic Energy Healing Level 1. And that is going to be in April. The date and time has not been set yet. As soon as it gets set, then we will get it on the website. Classes at hucolo.org for that. It will, if you're interested, I will have the date, the time, and the price on the site, and then we will also announce during the Saturday webinars as well. Jim and Will have a paid collaborated class coming up March 20th, 21st. Again, if you're interested in that, that one is going to be Will speaking language, Jim translating. Again, classes at hucolo.org, and we will get information out to you about date, time. Well, it is going to be the March 20th and 21st, but the time and the price have not been set yet. Classes at hucolo.org.
Great. Sounds good. Okay. Let me just admit some people into the room. Okay, perfect. So we will start with some prayers if we can, and we will then take it from there. Why don't we just go Yana, Barbara, Kathy. That's how I see you on my screen. We'll do it like that. And then in between, and you can just pick up right after Jim, Barbara, after Jim does the interpretation, then you can just start and then it's just to have a nice flow. Yeah. Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Tatana kaya tatana iti, ortua tatai te okan tatai, kanne te arte uakahai te ortine, ai te uakahata te iia, aine iia tahatai tiki, ortua, aine tea, ortua katana te, ene te keata hai tata.
Sometimes it appears that there are more shadows than light. Concentrate on those frames of light and bring it in strongly. For this is a time when light is needed. Information is sometimes cloudy or misrepresented. There is truth in all lies and lies in all truth at this time. And so you must learn to differentiate between them all. Be cautious.
Shatata kiata korata kibea. Kitapata kata kishiti ashanoko. Kipata karaki diata kochopata kana. Kitapaka kutoapa kidiata kanaka. Titapaka shaka shiatoko. Kiata korata pakarata.
Changes are coming. It is inevitable. Change is happening always and will always be happening. But it is time for you to understand that the changes within this period of time are important and valid. So keep your eyes open for the opportunities for which you are to be part of those changes.
Vakoria doshuata satoroashe, mashani doja, vakoro dovia samaloshua, yediano, konotipa larwe, medoni paro, melua duna shakoro doka. Sharadiasho troshua ilarunashe, farimaji doko, Shadiano doko, Matashia.
You are part of those that are chosen. You have been selected, and you know who you are. Some of you, if you do not feel that you have been selected or chosen, think again, because you may be ignoring some of the signs that are around you. Open your eyes to that which is true for you, because your personality, your gifts, and all that is you will give you that information about where the future is leading for you. Your mission is undeniable, and everyone here has a part in it.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, so let me just go through the, how do you call them? Requests? Thank you. We have Graha the dragon. I think I said that right. Anubis, a fairy from Israel, maybe. A fairy or elemental or dragon from Kathy. And Elijah. Let me see who else. Pax. And let's see. That's from JLo. Pax. Kirkalen, did I say it right? And Harland. And then Yana would like one of the 13 crystal skulls. And Hester requests Lindor. Yeah. That's what we have so far.
Okay.
Okay.
Lots of requests. There's some of them out here already. So we will see who comes through.
All right. Well,
have a good session, everyone. Much love to you all.
All right. Thank you so much.
And one moment. I am Elijah. Greetings, my children. How are you today? I want to come to talk to you about something very specific. Many of you are growing spiritually, and it is a beautiful thing. You are expanding and feeling the opening of new and greater gifts within you. You are knowing that God is with you and that He is experimenting with your gifts as well. What I want to talk to you about is your drive for moving forward. There are some of you that do have these gifts, that do have these understandings and openings, but you are not driven to move forward or walk through the opportunities, the doors of opportunities that God has put in front of you because of fear or because of complacency. Remember this, there will be opportunities all around you as God is moving in your life. Make sure you do not miss any of these opportunities. Of course, there are some things that may look fearful, some things that may look like they are not for you. Use caution when looking at these things. Do not be afraid of them, but use caution to look inside the door. For if it's not what you think it is, or not what God wants for you, you could always step back. God is there to help you. God is there to lead you. God is there to be your understanding of all those things around you. Do not be afraid. I know some of you are saying, but it sounds like He may want me to travel, or it may sound like He wants me to leave my family for a while, or He may seem like the situation could be something I'm not wanting. You must look at the opportunity first and let God feed the information into you about what the reasonings is for this opportunity. Sometimes it may not seem like the right thing to do to even look at these opportunities. Some people are saying, I think God wants me to move. Well, look into it, and you will find that the energy of God will move you along. If it is not meant to be, he will not do so. God knows the right time and the right place for all things. Remember to be cautious, but not fearful. There are different things. Caution is a kind of fear that can help you still move forward, whereas fear is a stop and makes you not want to move forward. Fear is something that you must eliminate almost completely. But caution is something different. Caution is something smart. Caution is something that you use to test the waters. So you must understand there is a big difference there. God's love for you is all around you, and there may be opportunities for you that you may not want, but they may be greater for you than you can possibly imagine. Do not be afraid of them, but use caution when looking at them. I know this makes sense to many of you, and his love is with you, and you've already seen some of these kinds of things happen in your life, where there has been something there, but you're not sure what it was. Look carefully at it. Do not be afraid. God will lead as he will lead, and he is a courageous God, and he will make you courageous in love and in hope and in desire for what is right for you. For you are growing and you are manifesting all these things in your life, different gifts, the gifts of channeling, empathy, healing. There are so many. My bilocation and remote viewing. You say, some of these gifts I have no use for. But if God sees a use for in your life, he will allow it and give it. And there will be a reason for it. So, like I said, be cautious, but not fearful. Be willing to do what God wants you to do. Be willing to go where God wants you to go. Be willing to start when you don't really feel like it. Ask God for the drive that you need to do his will, to be more courageous, and to find these adventures that God wants to send you on. You will not be sorry. You will thank him for it. You will know his love, his understanding, and it will open a whole new segment in your life if you follow him. This is a time when these kinds of things are happening. These kinds of things are necessary because not everyone in the world is awake like you. Not everyone in the world is available to God like you are. You have become available to him because you have given yourself to him, and you are a precious few in this world that are obedient to him. And so let him guide you, let him take you, and let him bring you into the fuller joy, which is your life and his will. I love you all. And that is the word of God for today. For he is reaching in and taking hold of people's lives in a different way than he ever has before. You will experience his power. You will experience his strength. You will experience his understanding, wisdom, and all the things that are God. It is not something that is just complacent, but you will feel him within you. You will understand that he is there. He wants you to have that experience. He wants you to experience him in a different way, in a new way, in a way that makes you even more whole and even more willing to give yourself over to his missions.
Thank you so much. There's a question from JLo, if you'll be open to have a
All
question.
right, I will take it.
Yes, go ahead, JLo.
Hello, Elijah.
Greetings.
It's very interesting, your message, because I find it to be quite synchronous, especially since I'm going to be moving this month, and I had been wanting to or desiring to for a very long time, I feel. One thing that I've noticed is I've been seeing repeating numbers, but specifically ones. This has never happened to me before when it's been just a very specific number, but 1 1 or 1111 or 1111. And it's very interesting because I have experienced that. I had the phrase in my mind, but when it's meant to be, it will occur, and synonymous with what you were saying. And I recall traveling to Arizona one time, doing some soul searching, and I recall getting lost, walking for many hours, and I stopped by a gas station and I purchased a ticket, a bus ticket to travel from a small town to Flagstaff, Arizona. And long story short, the cashier told me, "You're very fortunate. There's only one seat left." And by this time, it was nighttime, so I would have been basically stranded in the middle of nowhere. But I thanked God how things had worked out that way. In hindsight, once I had these experiences. But my question was, from your perspective, what does one symbolize? Thank you.
Yes, one is an opportunity. Take the opportunity quickly that God is opening a door. That is actually what one is, one of the things that one symbolizes. It's also new experiences. It's also a spiritual understanding, and it is opportunity. God has opened opportunity to you, and you are at the threshold of it. So it begs you to take it, which you are doing. And so the other thing I will repeat is that it is a new beginning. It is a fresh start. It is a step in the right direction.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you so much, Elijah. That was the only question that we did have for you.
Very well, then I will leave and give someone else opportunity to come in and speak to you.
Thank
Much
you.
love to you all.
Much love.
Greetings, this is Fleta.
Plata.
I am an elemental.
Welcome.
I am one of the rulers of the elemental kingdoms, watching over many places in the world. There are some of you that are curious about who we are and how we work, how we function in a daily basis. But I believe answering your questions will be more informative than me trying to explain it, as I am one that moves from place to place, covering large areas of ground and sea.
Are you familiar with our definitions here on our planet of elementals? What is there a category that we would know that you can describe yourself as?
Elementals are elves and wood nymphs and water sprites.
Yes.
There are many other kinds of elementals. you see them in the way that you see them. They are expressed in one way and they are not defined in other ways.
Mm.
But as you think of all the words that are connected to elementals, I am sure that they are represented.
Thank you. My question was, what type of elemental are you?
I am an elf,
Okay.
but I am one of the rulers of the elf kingdom. There has to be leaders to give some guidance in some areas. Things are sometimes questionable, especially in this day and age, where things happen and elementals do not even know what to do with this situation, such as radioactivity and the materials that go with it, or perhaps a great amount of litter or garbage. I must be there to help them and guide them with how to react and what to do with it.
Perfect. Thank you so very much. We do have some questions for you, if you're ready to take them.
Yes, more than one of you have asked for elementals to arrive.
Yes.
So we are here.
Perfect. Thank you and welcome. There's a question from Kathy. Go ahead, Kathy.
Kathy.
Greetings. I didn't get the correct pronunciation of your name. Could you tell me your name again, please?
Fleta.
Fleta. It was very nice to speak with you, Fleta. I am curious about the condition of our planet, the Earth, the animal kingdom in general, since the pandemic has put a lot of people locked into their homes, and there's a little bit less traveling, and there's a little bit less human interaction. Is there any improvement? What is the condition from your perspective?
There is improvement, because at least in many places there are, because there is less travel and less garbage and litter. There is less pollution. But there are other places that are still radioactive. There are other places that are still bombings and negative energies that we must deal with on a daily basis. We have also different kinds of animals, insects, and humans to deal with, because the environment is causing, the way that humans are treating the environment is causing animals to die out and trees to die, plant life to be non-existent, and other kinds of life to appear on the planet that are not quite as helpful to the food chain.
Yes. Well, I'm glad to hear that there's a little bit of an improvement. I know there's still a long way for us to go. Is there anything that I can do personally? And then is there anything that we as light workers can do personally to help?
Every light worker, every being on your world can send energy to the earth situation, therefore giving Gaia greater energy and opportunity to help clear some of the negativity off. We are helping her in our own way, but she does need your prayers and healing, for she is getting older in the third dimension and longs for the next.
Okay, so sending directly to Gaia. Thank you. How exactly do you help? Like what's the process that you use?
There are several things that we can do. We actually do clean some areas. Now, these areas cannot be areas that have been looked upon by humans, because if a human has looked upon an area, it cannot be changed. We cannot go about doing anything except by letting other humans know that this grievance exists and having them take care of it. If there is something there, such as radioactivity or something harsh on the earth, or certain animals or insects that are doing grievous things, we can control them.
Wonderful. Thank you. Well, thank you for the information. I know there's others that have questions, so I will let them ask. Many blessings to you.
Yes.
Okay, Sheer, go ahead, Sheer. You have a question.
Greetings.
Greetings.
What will be the correct title that I should address you as?
I did not hear the question.
What will be the correct title to address you? You said that you are a leader.
You can just call me Fleita.
All right. Well, first of all, you just mentioned that you are not allowed or will not change a certain area if it was seen by humans, because it will change, it will
Correct.
interfere with the third dimension, I guess, like the galactic laws.
Correct.
So could you say that if first contact will come into fruition, then humans will be able to benefit by having those places actually being cleaned up, because they will be aware of your existence, so the earth will be a much cleaner place? Will that be possible?
It is possible. We have to see what changes alien influence would make upon your planet. It could go many different directions, positively or negatively. So we wait to see what evidence there is and what opportunities we have.
And you are able to actually clean nuclear waste from the earth?
There are times that we can do that, yes.
Is it possible? I don't know if it's already happening, but could you send a representative to the meetings between the aliens and the earth? I think that this is something that will be very much of an interest to the earth governments, because nuclear waste is an issue that see no boundaries between countries. So I think it will be very beneficial for the cause of first contact, and obviously for the earth.
We have been to these meetings. When they see us, they think of us as aliens. They do not see us as being workers for the earth, even though we point out who we are and what we do. They sort of doubt our commission with the planet. They doubt that we are doing much to help it at all. They do not see what we do. And so therefore they dismiss us a little bit. Not all of them, but many.
I see. Well, I would like to be in a greater contact with your kind and with you personally. And if there's anything that I could do physically, astrally, I will be more than welcome to be your liaison with the governments, or any kind of anything that you see fit. Also, needless to say, I would very much like to meet you in person. You, anyone that you know that maybe will be interested to appear before me. I would really like to I'm living in very, how should I say it? There's a lot of nature where I live. So I think that it's also have a lot of calming energies and high percentage of magic in my area. So I would really like for one of your kind to appear before me if it is possible. I'm very open to that idea.
We are aware of where you are. There are a few places on the planet where the fourth dimensional energy and magic are higher due to requests and due to the approval of Gaia. So therefore we are aware of where you are and who you are. Our ability to appear before you is contingent on God's will for you and his permission to us.
Well, please do tell him that I want to be associated with you and help you, and request daily that you will be able to interact with me physically. We are on the same earth, so I think it should be easier for us to meet than me and others. Or
I believe it is a day and an age where things are very different, and different activities may be more permissible in this time than in past times. Of course, in past times, elementals have made friends with humans in remote places for different reasons. But there will be some changes coming soon, and perhaps you will be part of that.
thank you. And anything that I can do to help you and Mother Earth, I will do. Thank you. Much love.
Yes. Thank you for your offer. We will definitely take it up with God and the spirits. They're around him. This earth is in a very interesting condition. It is not yet in a fatal condition, but it is actually healing a little bit because of the COVID-19 and people being less active on the planet. The other thing is, though, there is still much to do with radiation that is all over the planet and the waves that are in the air. Now, that is not a problem for some of you that have great vibrational aspects yourself. Your vibration can block the vibrations of any harmful waves that come in. But it is more the third dimensional type person that cannot block these waves because their auras are very small and do not fight off these kinds of waves. But we are working on a way to help reduce them in many ways also. But fear not for those of you who have greater thought processes, greater metaphysical sensibilities, for your aura goes out farther and can interfere with these kinds of wavelengths.
Thank you so much. There's a question from Joan. JLo, I'm going to come back to you, but you've already asked a question, so I'm going to get through the people who haven't asked anything yet. Go ahead, Joan.
Greetings, Leda.
Greetings.
I have a question about a dream. Because I dream about the elementals, and one of them is one of the leader also is Charina, and they bring me to the elemental kingdom, and well, they have celebrated that I went there, and they prepare food, but I cannot. They told me not to eat the food, but only to smell the food.
And then it's made with things that do not sit well with the human body. Poisonous mushrooms are one of them. Even poison ivy is part of our main dishes.
And also, they gave me a crystal dust, but and they gave me a handful of them, and I put it in my pocket. And they told me to use it, but I don't know how to use that crystal dust.
The way to go ahead.
Can you tell me how to use that, please?
What did they give you? A crystal?
Crystal dust, like.
Ah, yes. The dust of these crystals are from the inner part of the earth. They are not the same as the dust from any crystals you may find near the surface of the earth, but these are deeply saturated with the magic that was within the earth for millions and millions of years. The dust can be used for healing and for saving other plant life or animals. You can use it that way.
I see. Okay. Can you tell me about Charina? Where she? What's her?
Sharina is my counterpart, female, as leader of the planet. There is male and female elves that are leaders here. We are equal, and we all have our own ways of doing things. We very often exchange thought processes on certain ideas about how to create a solution for the earth. And so she is very helpful in helping me, and I am helpful to her so that she is successful where she is at, and I am successful where I am at. Many of our ideas come from the elves and water sprites, tree nymphs that we work with. And they have ideas as well, and they are not forgotten, and their words will be heard. We have many meetings as we travel, and that's how we help the world to survive. As it moves forward, new challenges await us, and so new opportunities to find cures for these challenges are there as well. And we will not be able to find them all without banding together and sharing our information.
I see. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much. There's a question from Suzanne. Go ahead, Suzanne.
Hi, Fleta. It's very nice to have you here. So curious about the whole role of elementals. I guess I know that their concern is for uplifting the earth literally and figuratively. And also people, it seems like they help me a bit, uplift me as well in different ways. So thank you. I had two questions. The big question was, what is the best thing that we can do, our group here in particular, could do to assist you? And then I had another question of what is the role of mushrooms in the forest?
First question is, you can send healing to us. You can be environmentally aware and do not litter and stop others from harming the ecology of the earth. That is the number one thing you can do. Many people are harming the ecology in different ways, as you know, littering and throwing things aside, and also smoking and doing these kinds of things also contribute to negativity on the surface. Also, please send healing to Gaia and to us. And you're right, we do work with humans as well. Not all humans are aware of what we are doing. Not all humans are aware that we are helping them. But there are certain humans that we see that are ecologically minded, that we will give greater understanding to them, that we will help their crops grow better. We will help their plants be more alive and living better. What was the second question?
Well, I have I have a few trees, about five or six trees that are pine trees, and they live amongst together. And I noticed there's a big role of the mushrooms are a big role. They play a big role in that little group. And then I also read an article this year about how mushrooms help communicate between trees.
It is that the mushroom population, when they are inserted into the ground by the spores, all their lower elemental portions connect, their root system, if you will, and they are a community. And as they are a community, they also speak to the roots of the trees. And the trees are part of that communication system. And so they know the conditions for the mushrooms to grow. And they know the conditions that are going to be happening within the next several months with the rain and the storms, because mushrooms are very intuitive about weather. So they are weather-oriented fungus. And they are also very positive to the environment as well, because as they grow and then disintegrate, they nurture and nourish the soil.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I want to also acknowledge not only are elementals helping humans, but elementals striving is not only to help other people, but to live and exist in a thriving way themselves within their own thriving society. It's not that they exist only to help other people, but they are living, cognizant, sentient beings with lives. And we have to remember that they don't just exist to be called upon, but they are, and we need to, and I would like that to be clear for everyone, that we do know that, and we do appreciate and apologize for any kind of influence we've had on your environment and in a negative way.
We try to be as selfless as possible, because we know that you do not know that we are existing, at least some of you. Many of the people of the world do not even believe in elementals, so we have to take that into consideration. But those of you who do seem to be rather kind to us. At least we feel that in most cases. And thank you for that, because once you are aware of us, you do treat the earth in a different way. You do treat it with more respect and more love. And we do thrive on that respect and love. Even though you may not see us or feel us, we do know who you are.
Thank you. Okay, because elementals have families and children and generations of beings that are living and coexisting, that we're coexisting with you, whether we know it or not.
Yes, there are many ways to find the elementals were put here on the planet, created by God for this particular environment. Mm-hmm. And after that, then we are responsible for taking care of ourselves and having our families taught in a way that they are taking care of this planet as well.
Thank you. All right, there's a question now from Susan. Go ahead, Susan.
Thank you for coming, Fleta. I've learned in the past that I had a past life as a tree being on another planet, and I've always felt connected to trees and to elementals, nature beings. And is there any information you can provide as far as my connection with the elemental realm, and also how I can better connect with my body elemental, as well as the nature beings on the property where I live?
Yes. The tree planet does not look favorably upon the humans because of how they treat trees in this particular realm, harvesting them for paper and for other things. So the tree people on other planets see this as a very hostile area. You may feel that way as well. And so you may have great sensitivity to the things that happen on the planet, being that one of
Is Jim muted? Okay, thank you. You were muted for just a moment, Jim. Okay.
So I didn't hear the last few minutes of you speaking.
Jim, you're muted. Or Flavia. Can we have Jim just take control of the body for just a moment because you're muted?
So I can't hear you right now because the computer is muted.
One moment. Let me make sure that his thing is. Let me.
What happened?
No idea.
We're not sure. Just all of a sudden muted.
Okay.
By itself?
Yes.
Interesting.
All right. So
Okay.
sorry. We ask you to go back into trance. Okay. Thank you.
Hold on. I have returned.
Welcome back.
Who
Go
is
ahead.
speaking?
This is Susan Mulhern.
Greetings. I heard you were a tree being.
Yes.
What question did I not answer?
Well, the computer went on mute, so I didn't hear your answer about that, or I heard part of the answer at the beginning. So you were saying that tree beings on other planets view this Earth as being a hostile environment for trees, and so they don't look favorably. And so that was the last part I heard.
You being a tree being in one life will make you very sensitive to all the different elements of the earth elements on this planet. So you will have high sensitivity toward this planet and all the things on it. So therefore, I would say to you that we can help you with that. You may be prone to allergies and may be prone to sicknesses from germs and bacteria from the earth because you were part of the earth and you are now a part of something different. So that might be something that's coming through your tree being awareness. You can help us with the environment in many ways. You actually are sensitive to even changes in the air. So it is that you are one of us in some ways because we react to changes on the earth, in the air, etc.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've always been sensitive to any harm to trees, or I've had allergies, and I'm dealing with a rash on my body right now to either environmental
Yes, it could be
irritants or
environmental, yes. And we can help you. Call us.
okay, definitely I will. And how can I better connect and support my body elemental? Because I understand our physical bodies have an elemental, and also support and connect better with the nature beings on my property where I live. I live surrounded by woods and trees.
They know who you are. You are already connected to them in some ways, but you do not see them or know where they are. But your body elemental is also aware of your connection to all these things. Do not worry. You will get closer as you grow and gain the sensitivity in spirit toward the elementals. They will make themselves aware to you.
Okay. Will I ever see them with my physical
eyes? It is
eyes?
very possible. It is
Okay.
possible because of who you once were as a tree being that they will feel comfortable enough to come and appear for you, at least for a few seconds.
Okay. Great. Thank
We
you.
shall see.
And I do attend a healing group once a week, so I'll definitely include you and the elementals in our healing intentions as well, and for
Very
Gaia.
well, thank you.
Okay, much blessings. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Okay, thank you. Lilypad has a question. Go ahead, Lilypad.
Yes.
Hello, Flater.
Greetings.
Hello. Thank you for being here. Well, I think I was gonna ask you. I think you cannot answer one of the questions. It was about allergies. I always get allergies, and I was gonna ask you for healing for the allergies and how to manage my allergies.
They are allergies of earth-related things such as trees and pollen, flowers, and things of this nature. We can help you. If it is an allergy to rubber or dust particles that are not related to nature, then that is more difficult for us because we are here in the nature to help alleviate problems from nature. However, we do not know how to take care of allergies that are related to non-natural items.
Okay, I think I have a combination, but thank you for. Now I have another question. I had a dreams. I don't know why I'm so scared of snakes, and I always been dreaming. I had dreams about snakes. They're everywhere, and they go inside my body. I don't. Do you have any? I don't know what to ask actually, but why I dream so much, or why I'm so scared of the snakes, and why they come inside my body?
Whenever most humans dream about snakes as an affliction or as something they are afraid of. It is fear-oriented to dream about snakes, and also sometimes snakes represent illness or possible illness or possible attack of some sort. And so humans dream of snakes when things like this are, they feel that they are threatened by something. This is caused by the Adam and Eve story. Even though it is not completely true, it represents that the snake is negative and can cause harm. So many thoughts of snakes are representing harm. We can take these thought processes and evaluate them for you.
Okay. Thank you. So when the snake from Adam and Eve, is he a true story about the snake, or was he wisdom, or was he a bad? There's so many interpretations.
It was actually not a snake in the story, and the story is a symbolic representation of how God separated man from paradise. However, and caused him to have wisdom and things of this nature. It is just a story and a symbol of all these things. It is not a true story.
All right. Well, yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, there's a question from J-Lo. Go ahead, J-Lo.
Hello, Fleita.
Greetings.
It's very interesting and synchronous once again, because looking back, I recall that I wanted to move so I could interact with the elementals, not knowing what that was going to be like, but very open to having experiences with them. And I was wondering if Santa Fe, that's where I'm planning to move, Santa Fe, New Mexico, if some of your population or your kind, your species, if they reside there.
We reside everywhere.
Yes.
Absolutely, yes. There is every inch of the earth elementals have seen and have been.
And out of curiosity, do you and Sasquatch or Bigfoot work together in any shape or form?
They are a species in the third dimension. We are outside the third dimension, but we know who they are. They are not from this world, but they do visit, and they are respectful.
Oh, very cool. And I recall once when I was a child, I was living in the country at the time, many years ago, and I was walking and I came across a tree, but at the moment I wasn't aware of it. And it felt so fresh to be in its close to it or within its vicinity. And it was a very unique experience, and I'll never forget it. But throughout the course of my life, I've been becoming more aware of the fact that trees, for example, they are very much alive. And when I read a book that spoke about or talked about elementals and them having counsel, speaking with one another, living on Earth, and so forth, I just found it to be so fascinating. So thank you for stopping by and visiting us. I'm very grateful.
You're welcome. Trees do communicate with humans at times, as well as other plants and animals. They are not completely devoid of understanding of who humans are or what humans do in their regular lives. Many trees witness humans all the time and see their behaviors and know who they are. And some humans are well loved by tree species on this planet.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that. Okay, there's a question from Sheer.
Greetings once more. The questions are just keep piling up. I'm very fascinated by you and I'm very grateful that you came. If I have to pick one of those questions, it seems that the Earth and the Galactic Council is only involved when with humans. It seems that humans are calling the shots here on the Earth. However, there are fairies, there are inner Earth species, there's a bunch of different kind of beings, but it seems that everyone need to bend over backwards for humans and for humans to make decisions about first contact. Why is it? Why is it that the humans have all the power and the cards, but everyone else have to fall in line because of humans' interests?
Yes, the humans are in third dimension. We are not. So you may see us as the rulers of the earth if you were looking into our dimension. But since you are looking at third dimension, you will see humans as the rulers of this planet. So it is that it depends on how you look at the planet who is in charge. This is something that we have always been aware of, but we are more aware of the humans in third dimension than the third dimensional humans being aware of us. So therefore, we have a greater understanding of all life on Earth, and you only have understanding mostly of the third dimensional life on Earth.
Also, you said earlier that you were created by God.
Yes.
And humans, as far as I know, were seeded here on the Earth, right?
Seeded? On the
Different
Earth,
kind
yes.
of beings came and pretty much help our development. We were not originally.
There were original species to this planet, yes. But remember, the Earth has flipped over several times, and some of those species have been lost. Elementals do not get lost in this kind of episode because it will affect the third dimension only. But yes, your planet was seeded where God created elementals especially for this planet so that we can take care of it. But after being created, then we have our lives that we live, and families and lifelines and lineages and all of those things. Just as when God created early species of man, even though some of them did not continue, he did create life for this planet.
And I'm guessing that you are much more ancient than the early men when it's come to the Earth.
As soon as the Earth was cool enough for elementals to be a part of it, then we were created.
And do you have technology? Do you keep records?
We keep records to some extent. It is all part of the Akashic records. And so they can be looked up as well, if necessary. There are reasons for all life to be recorded in the Akashic records. It could be valuable to something somewhere in history that you may not be aware of at this moment, but the future may ask for that answer, and it will be given.
I will reframe my question. Do you use any kind of technology, and do you keep some sort of records, written records? Because I think that that will be one day very beneficial to the understanding of humans, because we know more about space than our own oceans, and I'm guessing that you know much more than us about nature in our oceans. And if you have technology and written documents, I think that this is something that is could be also of an interest for first contact and for first contact. And first contact is crucial in order for us to actually work with you, and everyone will understand what it is that is going on here and how to treat the Earth and all of that. I'm taking it several steps forwards, my thought process.
We do have some sort of technology, as you call it, but our own sensibilities are more important than the technology, because the technology is sometimes a way to get around some of the problems. The thing is, we do have written records as well, volumes of it, and there is one central library on each planet that there are elementals, which are most planets, and these libraries are being kept by many different scribes in the elf kingdom, thousands.
I see. And one last question, as I'm sure there's plenty more from other people, but do you have like a capital of some sort in the fourth dimension? And can you give me the coordinates here on the Earth, like how it correlates with us? Let's say, where is your capital. Can you tell me, do you have a capital?
We have a couple places that we call important places of energy for us. One of those areas is Stonehenge, and one of them is Machu Picchu.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you. There's a question from Safira. Go ahead, Safira.
Thank you. Hello.
Greetings.
I have two questions. There are people on the earth here who, are you familiar with the term having a green thumb for humans?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Some people, and they may not necessarily, and forgive me, I'm not trying to make it black and white, but they may do, let's say they may do mean things and they're not very nice to people around them, and yet they have a green thumb and everything they touch that's green and with flowers grow. And those who may not, those who are really seem to be very giving and nurturing people, who plants die around them. So I really don't know what I'm trying to ask here, except does it have nothing to do, like, do people have green thumbs? Are they working with special elements, elementals,
No.
and it doesn't matter if they're good or not good?
They are kind to the ecology. They are kind to the plants. And so the plants thrive around the kindness that they are given. It does not matter how they treat other human beings if they are being nurtured and being cared for kindly and fertilized and watered, etc. So humans can be very nice humans, but have no regard or understanding for plants. And so it works in the same way. You may be kind to other humans, and humans may be helpful to you, but your plants suffer because you do not understand them or treat them well.
Yes, thank you for that. I was going to add something to that, and now it just slipped my mind. But okay, thank you for that. I have a question of another one. I was told 4 years ago that I used to be a queen in the fairy realm. So I'm asking this question not because I'm asking it because, first, I don't believe it, not to make myself look important, but I have a very hard time believing that because I don't see any evidence of it. And so, number one, my question is, if it would be even true, how would it bear my life now? And your point about people not understanding plants, because I had a lot of abuse in my childhood. I was treated very badly by my people who were supposed to care for me. So I think that cut off my connection to nature. Maybe this is what happens with other humans too. It's not like it's really difficult to understand plants and connect because there was something that happened that cut that off. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. I see a disconnect from early childhood. It was rather even earlier than you have placed it. And this cutoff point has not been restored. It is like saying that the tree has been cut down and they tried to put the tree back onto the root to make it grow again, but it will not happen because they cannot connect properly. The tree has to grow from the root up, and once it's cut, it does not reattach. This is what happens to you in this lifetime. You are cut off and have not reattached. It will not reattach until you come to the root of it and grow from that root out into what you are to become now. That does not mean that it will take a great deal of time. There are some plants that grow very quickly and some plants that do not. But I see that you were cut off and you have not been reconnected.
Thank you for that. So is it true or not true that I used to be a queen in the fairy realm?
It's hard to say. The information would come from your brain and past life understandings. it would appear that there might have been some connection to the elf population. But right now, that information even is cut off from us because of the way that you were cut off as a child.
Uh-huh.
The
Okay.
childhood experience was devastating, and it cannot be revitalized until you go back and it is forgiven, cured, and replanted into the earth.
Thank you. That's very important also for me. The amount of abuse of children in this country and world is astounding. So it's
You
one
must
reason I just want to say I'm sorry, because that's probably one reason why the care for you, the care for this earth is not what it could be. And I'm sorry about that for you.
no need to apologize. We understand what we see. When we see things like this, we do not hesitate to nurture as much as we can.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Christine?
Greetings and blessings.
Greetings.
I am one of the lucky ones that has a yard full of trees, all sorts of different kinds. And one of the trees that I especially love and have bird feeders hanging from it, because I enjoy watching everything. This beautiful tree, it's one of the larger trees, has a lot of ants living inside it with lots of holes. And I go to the tree and I like to talk to it. And I hope that the ants aren't killing it.
If it is a large tree,
yes,
the ant population probably will not kill it unless they go burrow into the root system. But having it just in the tree itself will not probably harm it. If we see that there is harm being done, we will speak to the ant population. However, they have free will of their own to do as they please, but we can warn them against killing the tree.
Yes. If you can, I'd feel more reassured. I don't want to do any harm to the ants because it's part of nature and everything, but I love that tree.
Yes. Are they
I love
large
them all.
black ants?
They're, I think they are black ants, but they're tiny. But during the summer or the warm days, they're all over that tree. Or, I could see them busy. And I've asked that tree to protect my apricot tree that I have planted. So.
Does that tree show any signs of dying?
No.
Then do not worry at this time.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
Okay, thank you so much. Sean has a question. Go ahead, Sean.
Hi.
Greetings.
So I had some questions about magic.
Yes.
So can you scan somebody and see how much magic they've accumulated?
You are in a different realm, and magic is not something that we can sense in your realm. We sense it in ours, but we cannot read it in yours.
Okay. Is there any way you can tell me about the Nordic magic?
The Nordic magic?
Yeah, specifically, they had two types of magic back then. The Vikings time.
Yes, it was.
There was two types. There was runes, and then there was another one called there were ladies that they had some kind of power. They were called seethers, I want to say. Can you explain more on the seethers and the
The
runes?
seethers. The thing is, the magic back in the early days of your history was very different. It was conjured in a different way. You had to give yourself to it for it to work. That is not the same as it is today, where you just gather it. But in those days, you had to give yourself over to a belief system that made it work. And so the beginnings of that belief system could be dark, or they could be very dark, or they could be medium dark. There are several different beings that would have them, you give them yourself over to them, and they would control how much magic you would have in your system, how much power you would have, how much obedience to them that you would give. They would control those things. There were several different dark energies that were obeyed back then. And so that particular energy was fairly dark and was given to them so that they could use and create magic for wealth and power and seeing the future.
Okay. Is there any way that we can use the new white magic to kind of help you guys out, like with cleaning up the earth? And
yes, once you reach a certain point in gathering your magic, well, you will be able to send it out more efficiently to help the earth and to help the elementals here and to help it go down into the elemental realm. You see, you're in third dimension. Although the magic is to be used in the third dimension for you, it will also saturate into the fourth dimension or other dimensions if the magic so is made to do so.
okay. And then I've always felt like I've had a connection with the elements of like dragons. I had an experience where it felt like I was being born out of like a dragon egg, and then I was being like, after that, like my body felt different. I was breathing different. Do you have any explanation or
yes, there is definitely past life dragon in you, and there is definitely the experience of flying and the breathing of other elements other than air and oxygen. So you have experienced the life of dragon, and you actually enjoyed it, and it was freeing for you, and it was a more intelligent dragon life than some dragon lives are remedial. Other dragon lives are highly conscious and aware and intelligent, and you were in that category.
Is there a dragon that I can connect to kind of pull on that lifetime and kind of
One moment, please. What color of dragon do you remember being?
I'm not sure, but I've been really drawn to
brown
black
and green.
Black and green.
Brown and green.
Brown and green.
One moment. Kargor. Yes, you relate to Kargor.
What kind of dragon is he?
This kind of dragon will be found under the Himalayas. At least they had residence there for a while. I'm not sure if they are still there. We have not seen them in many centuries.
All right, thank you. That's all I had.
Very good.
Okay, thank you. Dawn, go ahead. You have some questions from YouTube. Go for it.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. Okay, I have, I'll go right to the beginning. This is from Krellick. His question is, natural disasters exist so nature spirits cleanse areas of the planet from the negativity. But if the natural disaster results in people's death or destruction of property, is that a negative?
Natural disasters are just that. They occur naturally. We must go to wherever we can in a natural scenario and help to clear it. Remember this, we are not necessarily not going to die ourselves in a great natural disaster if our portion of the planet falls away into lava or into the water. So it is possible for us to be disconnected and for us to be destroyed. And so other elementals have to come to that area and work. Even though it is in another dimension, we are one stacked upon the other. And so if this piece of ground falls into the lava, then all the areas above it also go down into that area. So it is that many of us die in natural calamities as well. But these kinds of things are things that we rally around, we help each other with, and try our best to help the earth calm itself, help the area to stabilize.
Thank you. Okay, he has another question. He says, are the nature spirits, are there nature spirits that are unicorns? What are they like? I hear they like to hang around apple trees.
There are no unicorns on this planet at this time. There are some that believe that in other dimensions there are unicorns here, but not in the elemental area. We do not have any unicorns here. We do know that they exist on other worlds, and we do know that they do exist as a species, more than one actually. But in the elemental world, they are not here.
Thank you. Okay, the next question that comes from Ace Sand. How do you help us raise our frequency?
By creating a good environment for energy to flow, so that if you go outside and see a lot of negative or feel a lot of negativity, that means there's something in the atmosphere or in the environment that has not been cleansed. We try to cleanse the atmosphere and soils and environment, so that when you go out to view it or be part of it, it can nourish the soul and spirit.
Thank you. Okay, the next one is from Lax Pang, and the question asked is, do you know of entity names, of an entity named Lao Tzu, that's TZU,
yes,
and his teachings of the elementals? Can you explain, please?
I know of him. I know that he teaches of the elementals. He has actually seen some of the elementals and is able to understand them visually and what they do and how they work. That was a long time ago that he has written about us. We have evolved as well.
Okay, thank you. And one last question again from Krellick. Who are the Druids from ancient Celtic mythology?
They are not humans. Actually, they're underworld beings that came to Earth because they did not want to stay there. They were rejected by, they rejected the underworld in some ways and came to the surface to create something different, create an energy that was more beautiful in some ways. And they worked with the Shining or the Anunnaki and those that came from the underground world, from the Sumerian area, who found their ways through the underground passages to the area of England and Ireland and Scotland. And they worked with the Druids to do many different things.
Okay, thank you. And I guess that's all the questions I currently have. Thank you, Fleta. Many blessings.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you so much, Dawn. Okay, there is a question from Susan. Go ahead, Susan. And because we're coming up the last half hour, let's keep the questions to one per person, please, if you've already asked a question. Thank you.
Thank you, Fleta. My question is, I recently found out that I have a connection with the Sophia Dragon Tribe, and that I should study the book, the Sophia Code, which is a living transmission from the Sophia Dragon Tribe. So, and that I'm connected to the Dragon Collective. I also know I have an ice dragon of the North guide named Altia that I've connected with. Is there anything that you can tell me about how I can better connect with the Sophia Dragon Tribe, and if I've had a lifetime as a dragon, or just that connection with the Sophia Dragon Tribe? Any information?
Well, first of all, I would call on the white dragons of the north, because they will get you. They are more active in this on this planet right now than any of the other dragon groups. Even more active than the red dragons under China, Japan, Korea, North Vietnam, etc. There's a great deal of negative dragons in that area, but the positive dragons are under Norway, Sweden, Finland, some into Russia, some out into the waters there underneath. So those are the white dragons. They're more positive. Connect with them first. They have the studies and understandings of all the dragons. They have collected histories of many dragon histories, and they could help you with the Sophia Dragon codes.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much.
Very well. You are whoever is talking.
Sorry, go ahead. Yana has a question. Go ahead, Yana. We'll go to her first and we'll come back. She hasn't had a question yet.
Okay, hello, Fleta. Greetings and blessings that you are here today with us. Fleta, I was curious. Some of us are working with organites, creating organites, and place them into nature to help with the radiation and the bad telephone signals, things like that are pollutive. Pollution. Yeah. Can you explain to me how this works and if it's helpful what we're doing?
Well, it draws energy to itself, the organite. And as it does that, it purifies what is around it. So if you have organite in the ground or organite in your home or organite anywhere, it will purify the areas that are around this organite, as it draws energy from sun, from moon, from the air. I would charge it in the sun or the moon, because the moon is in direct sunlight after all. But it is that it gains so much power from the sun and the moon, and it is something that can draw elements of power out of the air and help things cleanse.
Okay, thank you. So it will be helpful to place them near the 5G send mask. Okay, that was it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Was that it, Yana? You can ask two because you didn't ask anything if you had another one.
Okay, no, this was it for now. Yeah, I was curious about my connection to the dragons, but I feel that I have a personal dragon connection as well.
You do. Absolutely. And I think you already know where that connection is. But it is stronger now. As you become greater in your energy, you'll feel stronger and stronger pullings from all those that were powerful in your past. And so as you had a powerful dragon connection, it will bring that power out.
Okay. Thank you very much, Leda. Goodbye.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Okay, there's a question from Joan. Go ahead, Joan.
Greetings. I have a question. Is it any difference of elf and gnome? Are they the same? Because because when I see them, it's they have a red hat and a small like little people and a red shoes, something like that.
They have different responsibilities, but they are basically from the same family. You will notice their features are similar. The gnomes are different than the elves because one will work with animals, one will work with plants or earth. Gnomes and elves both work with the earth, but I think gnomes work more with animals, elves work definitely more with plants and pollution.
I see. And one more. Do I have a past life as a gnome or an elf?
One moment. It would seem that there is some elf-like thought processes within you. Perhaps a gift from a gnome or an elf was part of something that you received from the past.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. You are muted.
Still muted. Sorry, there's a question from Sean. Go ahead, Sean.
Hi again. When we were talking about me having a past life as a dragon, you said breathing in different elements. Would I be able to work with the elements a little more powerfully in this lifetime? And like, how can I do that? If I can, if it's.
Yes, you will find an automatic attachment to certain elements that will make you feel powerful. These are elements from your dragon lifetime. If you desire that kind of remembrance, then think about that lifetime, and then you will be drawn to certain elements, stones, and perhaps even jewels that were powerful in that realm. Does that make sense to you?
Sean?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Were you looking for something different?
Well, how is there a specific way I can utilize the elements besides drawing on the power or the emotional?
You can use the elements in your magic if you wish.
Okay, I just didn't know if there was something specific or not. But.
There may be, but the information cannot be given at this moment. You have to find out more about it.
Okay. Thank you. Much love.
Thank you. There was a question from Safira. Go ahead, Safira.
Thank you. I have a question about the little people. I was in Hawaii, and they're very well known there, apparently. I saw one out of the corner of my eye. Can you explain who they are, and are they mostly taking care of the Hawaiian Islands?
They are elementals. They are elementals that are made for that environment, and so are a little bit more specialized, but that's about all.
Do they look like people? Is that why they're called little people?
Most elves do look like people, and gnomes, if you want to call them gnomes, do look like people. And so, yes, they will resemble humanity, but only in a smaller shape.
Okay, so little people are a type of elf, in other words. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay. Was that it? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
There's a question from Dawn. Dawn, go ahead.
Okay, so thank you. Okay, this is from Mrs. Hempstress. I have been told to be a high elvish king and dragon past. What food are recommended? She asks.
For your past?
Well, I'm just reading it. I have no idea what this means.
I would recommend. I know that the kings from the past and the high elemental and the dragons, all of them had some specific food sources. One of those food sources is mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
One of those food sources was for the dragons was actually small rodents and animals and larger creatures as well. They were part of the food chain many, many millions of years ago. The dragons have stopped eating all meat. They have not all meat, but meat all the time, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And have now started eating other things as well, because they have run into trouble with some other species about doing so. But I would recommend natural foods
Mm-hmm.
for the elemental side. We have many natural foods here. We do not eat meat. We do eat insects and we do eat plants.
Okay. I have an additional question from another member of Hucolo. Is there a connection between the elfin world and your world?
This is the elfin world, yes.
Okay.
There is a connection, yes.
Okay, and she asks also, if so, do your worlds work together, and in what way? Thank you.
In all ways. The elfin world and the world that I am in are the same. And we work together in the sense that we are trying to bring about the greatest ecology, the greatest benefit for the earth, for Mother Gaia, and for the people that are on this planet. Mm-hmm. There are many things that cause destruction and pollution and negativity. So we try to either avert that if we can, or clean it up when we can, such as the radioactive pollution in the ocean near Japan and things of that nature. But no eye can see that. So it is easy for us to work on that whenever it is something that nobody is aware of. The clairs, which are a species under the ocean that are a hybrid species of Yahyel and Reptilian, which is a very unusual hybrid species have helped with getting rid of radioactivity in the ocean.
Thank you. And that's all the questions I currently have. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so very much. I think that that's the end of our questions. And yes, that's the end of our questions. And we're really we have about 12 minutes left. So it's up to you if you would like to stay or to bring one more being in. It's up to you, but we would like a blessing from you in your language.
Outside of here.
Okay. If you can give us a blessing before you go, we would appreciate.
May God give you all the things of your heart, and may they be positive for all the people around you. May you be aware of all the things that make you who you are, and the things in the nature that make you stronger and develop you. May God cleanse you, purify you, and strengthen you with his energies. We are here to work together, even though we may not know each other that well. We are still here to coexist.
Thank you.
This is Pax.
Hello, Doc.
Yes.
Very nice to meet you. We only have a few minutes and we appreciate you coming. From where do you come?
I have been here before.
How would we identify you? From what species are you?
We are Pax.
Pax. Oh, I do apologize. I thought you said tax. So sorry.
No, we are Pax.
Yes. There was someone that requested you. Maybe we can have that person ask the question. Who was the requested Pax?
I am.
Go ahead then. Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you. What
My
is
question,
it you wish to learn?
how do you reconnect when you have a dream state in a lucid cycle that my subconscious was trying to tell me something? How do you try to go back to that place? I've had try to turn that simulation or that place back on, but have trouble. It wants to direct me somewhere else. My subconscious.
Yes. The fact that you cannot get back to the same place tells you that something has changed and is moving forward. The original thought process was probably very interesting and you wanted to revisit it. However, it will not allow that since things have changed and information must be moved forward. So therefore, the new place that it has brought you is the relevant spot of understanding. So what is that new revelation that is there?
Yes. Oh. Yeah. I don't know what the new one is. Just the last one I'm trying to go to.
You will find out. It will make itself known to you. This day and age, the idea of things becoming relevant out of the dream state are very possible. And if it is something that is important, will manifest.
I see. Thank you, Pax.
You are welcome.
That is all, Karen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't believe there's any other questions. So
that is fine. I have one word for the peoples.
Yes.
That word is that their dream states, the dream lords, have been especially busy lately with some lucid dreamings and for some special messaging to some peoples. We have come to tell you that writing automatically, automatic writing, whatever you want to call it, will ramp up, and there will be more messages coming through this way because there are more that are able to access that way of communication than through channeling. Some of you cannot channel yet, but your automatic writing will be functional, and you will be able to write and get the messages necessary for you and those around you, and perhaps even a group of people or a community. So therefore, automatic writing has become much more functional in your world.
Thank you. There is one lone question from Dawn. Go ahead. Dawn, you asked the question.
I already did ask it. Thank you.
Oh, you did ask it. Okay. And then I do apologize. Thank you so much.
It is all right.
All right.
It is time for you to leave anyway.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes.
Very well. We will come when it is more
time.
I do not know the right word for the moment, but it is not the right time for us now.
Right. We look forward to your return. Thank you.
Hello?
Hello. Thank you. It was interesting.
Hey.
Very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. We spent a lot of time with an elemental. It's quite eye-opening.
Eye-opening?
I feel.
Good.
Maybe. Yeah. So we have some announcements before we go, but we'll start with the blessings and then we'll do announcements. So Don will do a blessing and then Angie will do a blessing. And Angie, then you can do the announcements after your blessing. Go ahead.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Karen. Datiska mos arok os wash it to swatikiska shwandosi shotasi ha yokaja hayawata to swatikiske wantikishi shanda wasaito ta she hand ho swatikishu ta la nawiska to shkamwa sedeteshu namahosa ta sa handa swa tanta.
Do not shy away from who you are. Dare to be yourself. You are someone that people will love. You will be someone that will give information to the people. You are someone that is there for a reason. You are someone that may not see yourself as confident, but dare to be yourself. Dare to overcome the shyness. Dare to overcome all the things that hold you back. For this is a time of revelation within your own self and to those around you.
Go ahead, Angie.
We are in the midst of ascension. Ascension has a price. That is dedication. Dedication is when you give yourself over to something that will nurture and people will gain from it. Let it happen that you are given over to a positive idea.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Jim. We have a few announcements, and just for everyone watching, please like and subscribe if you can. Next week, we'll have Michael Frumson. He's going to be channeling Ra, so that'll be very interesting to see. And go ahead, Angie, and then we'll end with your announcements. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, everybody. So we are looking at March 20 and 21st to have a class with Will Mitchell and Jim. There's going to be information on the site. We'll get that out also through the different an email. We'll get an email out to everyone as well about that class. Our next online class is Galactic Energy Healing Level 1. That's going to be in April. Tucker is the teacher of that class, and she will be bringing the Galactic Energy Healing. That's going to be at the end of April. We have not yet scheduled the actual date, but as soon as we get that scheduled, we will get that on the site as well. So we've got the 2 classes coming up. If you're interested, please email classes@hucolo.org. I'll get the information out to how to register for those classes. Thank you, everyone, and much love.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jim. Thank you to all
You're
the beings
welcome.
that were here, everybody that was in the room, everyone in YouTube. We send you so much love, and we will see you next week.
Okay. Very
And
good.
Jim will be back in 2 weeks. Yay.
Yes.
Yes,
I
Jim.
will. Let everybody know if, let Angie know if you're interested in the Galactic Energy Healing class, just so we get an idea of how many people will be interested in going to it. So,
Perfect.
all right.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day.
Who's that with you there, Angie?
That's my friend Laura Jo.
Hello, Laura Jo. Very quiet, Laura Jo.
Hi, Laura Jo.
Very quiet.
All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.